All right. Put pens down. We're going to come back and visit this in a moment.
Oh, I guess. Yeah.
So as we look at our business and where we are within the business, you need to really ask yourself, what was I hired to do? And am I using my 80-20 rule? Am I spending 80% of my time working on the things that I was really hired to do? So one of the ways that we can look at that is if we start to put some numbers to this. So let's say you're the business owner, you're the entrepreneur. What are you worth? An easy math is you take your salary divided by 2,000 hours. This is 150,000, this is 90,000, and this is 40,000 a year. Don't know if those are the right numbers, but just to give you kind of a frame of reference. So if you're the entrepreneur, you're a business owner, you're that business leader, you're making 75 bucks an hour, should you be working, the technician job? And that's really, if you put money to it, it's a different way of looking at it. Sometimes business owners will think, oh, well, I have to do that. Or I started my business, 10 years ago, and I always used to do that. Well, that was 10 years ago when it was just you. Now you've got 20 people, you've got 30 people in your business. Should you be doing technician work? And so the idea here is to really start to ask yourself, where are you spending your time, and is it best for you to get paid for doing some of that work? If I'm the business owner, should I be paid? Should I be doing the work that I can pay someone 45 bucks an hour to do? Should I be doing the work of a technician where I could pay someone 20 bucks an hour? If I'm that manager, should I be doing technician work where we could pay someone else? So it's really looking at the value of your time, what were you hired to do, and saying, geez, you know what, I can use a different resource. We talked a little bit about that already. So that could be a different resource within the company to do some of this work, or it could be hiring someone on the outside, a part-time person or whatever, to do some of this work for you. So as a business owner, you're not doing the technician work. I worked in a business recently where I came in as a turnaround, but the business owner had sold it to this private equity group, and he stayed in the business. And he started the business. He grew this business over 18 years as a machine shop, and started on his own. And he had 20-something people working for him when I joined him, but he still had that mentality that, oh, a machine's down, I need to go work on it. So this is the business owner that's going out and fixing a machine. And it's like, really? Is that what you should be doing as the business owner? Shouldn't you be thinking about, hey, how can I get more customers? How can I generate more revenue? How can I be more profitable versus going out and fixing the machine? Is there no one else within the organization that could do that for you? And if there is no one else, can I hire someone from the outside to do that? Or should I have that skill set within the company to do? So think about it. Think about it in terms of dollars and cents. What am I paid to do, and am I spending most of my time doing that?
Quick question again.
Yeah.
So what about that business owner that they don't necessarily want to replace what gives them joy? So maybe he got joy into working with his hands, and if he hired all the technicians and all he was dealing with is the crap that he doesn't like, wouldn't he be better off hiring people to do the other stuff that doesn't give him joy, and he could still be, in charge? Does that make sense?
Yeah. It's a great question. And as I would, in my coaching practice, work with an individual for that, I would say, then as the business owner, what your role is as a business owner versus what gives you joy is out of whack. And so guess what? That's probably going to create conflict for you, and you're not going to enjoy your job. So you need to think about to do it differently. And as a business owner, you don't have to necessarily be the person at the top that's providing the vision. You can be the person that says, yeah, I'm not good at this. I don't want to do this. I still want to own my business, but I can hire a president to come in or a general manager and do that for me so I can do these other things. Absolutely, you can do that. Absolutely. But that business owner needs to understand that someone has to do that role. Someone has to provide that vision, that path. And if that's not something that they're good at, then they need to find someone. And they don't have to be a full-time person. There's fractional CEOs out there. There's fractional general managers out there that could help that person. That's a great question.
We got them in NIA too.
Yep. All right, our next exercise, about 7 minutes. We got 4 things we're going to talk about. Think about within your company, what's the hourly rate within your company? Where should you be spending most of your time in your business? And I say should be. What was I hired to do? Not necessarily what I'm doing, but what was I hired to do? Where should I be spending most of my time in my business? What activities am I doing today that maybe are below my rate? And what do I commit? Again, how are we going to take this new knowledge and use it? What do I commit to do differently going forward? All right, 7 minutes to talk with your partner.